Hey Aries, welcome to your April 2019 tarot reading. My name's Tara from Tara's Tarot. I have shuffled and dealt our cards. This is going to be a complex reading that's going to apply differently to who's watching it. When I ask about these videos and I set my intention, I want it to reach as many people. The message that will apply to the most people watching, I want that to come through, but parts may resonate to different parts of your life depending what message you need. The first thing, I just want to state a couple points before we jump in. There's definitely, from a higher level, a higher perspective, the spiritual side of things, it's like everything's okay, everything's working out, you're, transitioning to this new, exciting phase of success. You have a good foundation that's in alignment with what you want, what you're trying to create, what your dreams are. But from our 3D perspective, for whatever reason right now, things may seem like they're stuck, or like you're met with resistance, or your mind is starting to jump to conclusions, or be going over things where you're starting to feel anxious and not really being able to see clearly here. There's some like soul searching or needing to move on from something, or move on from a way of thinking, or move on from old emotional ties, something like that, that's going to prompt a lot of soul searching for us. I feel like this is really multi-layered. So I'm going to start, we're going to go through. First, I want to show you the major cards here, just so you can get a sense of, you know what, let's do it this way, actually. All right, so we've got, so a lot of, successful movement here, a lot of moving forward, a lot of victory, a lot of aligning with what we need to do, balancing ourselves, being the driver of our chariot, where we're balancing our intentions and our wills and our beliefs and our work so well that we are riding that momentum. And this is going to take us to a new place, whether that's literally, metaphorically, but it's a new journey, and it's a very successful, victorious feeling here. Okay, we've got this sense of things are happening as they are meant to. Things are being guided, being protected, being measured out in the right measure. There's like this heavenly inspiration, this higher level of inspiration here. Okay, right? Okay, so then on the other, then we've got these three major cards. Okay. Now, while you are going through this journey, while you are going through this transition, while things are being worked out and protected and guided over, right? Okay, then there's also this. So this is very intense, to have all these major cards and these different energies. So we've got, things needing to surrender, needing to allow things to unfold as they will, as they're meant to, taking our hands off, trusting. This can be a little bit uncomfortable because we don't really see the proof, we don't see the guarantee, and we're kind of just trusting and waiting for, where is this going to go? And that can bring up a lot of these feelings. The devil, fear, being confronted with our fear, what we're worrying about, how much power are we giving away to that fear, how much empowerment are we able to maintain, are we able to rise above this fear? How is that energy playing into our consciousness and energy? And then the Hermit card, going on that journey to understanding where we are, why this is happening, to expand and gain more knowledge and ultimately get answers that we're seeking. So while there's that, there's also the victorious, things are happening as they should, and there's a beautiful future in store. So what is this about? Okay. So the core energy of the month, okay, we've got the Five of Wands here. And this is crossed by the Eight of Cups. All right. So the Five of Wands is saying, you know, there's some kind of conflict. There's some kind of hurdle. There's some kind of obstacle. You're being met with energy that's resistant. You're being met with energy that wants the opposite of you. Or on your way to applying your will and applying what you want and applying what you hope to create, what you believe in, you're met with obstacles, hurdles, nothing that's meant to deter you, but a temporary resistance that you have to push through. Or maybe you don't want to push through it, but you can push through it. This is very temporary, passing energy. But okay, here we are, our main thing. Okay, something doesn't feel like it's flowing. And then we have the Eight of Cups. This is all about moving on, turning our back on an old way of life, an old relationship, an old job, an old belief system. Whatever that means for us, it's going in a new direction, okay? Being called in a new direction that is more in alignment with us, that we know our soul wants to go, and it's time to leave whatever that represents behind, okay? So is this conflict triggering you to move on? Are you feeling like you're not getting anywhere and it's time to go? Are you kind of being met with minor obstacles, and are you contemplating or wondering if this means you should be moving away from this energy? So that's what we're dealing with on a 3D level for the core of the month. Now this is a lot of how we interpret things as a human, these minor cards, how we're interpreting things, how that therefore is affecting our day-to-day experience. This is not what's quote unquote really going on a higher level, but how we are interpreting events and translating them into our beliefs and therefore our experiences. Okay, so a little bit of conflict for Aries this month. Something to work through, I feel like untangling this dilemma or whatever this is representing. Now, hanging over that, this is representing our mind, our consciousness, what's available on the surface level. We've got the Nine of Swords. So this is implying there's anxiety around this. There's a lot of thoughts. This is the card where our mind goes into overdrive and we start becoming a prisoner of our mind. We start letting our mind kind of make decisions for us instead of using our mind as a tool to make decisions. You know, this is like kind of when our mind gets into that overwhelming, overactive, where you're trapped in this nightmare anxiety, because the thoughts have grown to the point where they are now suppressing us. We are now being controlled by the thoughts. Instead of allowing our thoughts to empower us and, like I said, use them as a tool where we're controlling our thoughts. So there's something going on here, little conflict, maybe soul searching, maybe need to make a decision, but don't jump to conclusions, because this energy is, again, temporary and is coming from our own interpretation of things. And so this is just showing me that we're feeling conflicted about something. We're having a little bit of anxiety about something. We can't really see clearly. We can't get to the truth because we're consumed by these random anxious thoughts that are kind of holding us prisoner right now. Now, underneath the reading, so under that same line, for the subconscious, what's really the foundation? What's really going on behind the scenes? We've got the Nine of Cups. So this is showing actually under the surface, this energy is here, you know, the dream come true energy is here. Being fulfilled emotionally is here. You know, this is saying the truth of the matter on the deepest level, on the foundation, is you're in alignment with what you want. You're in alignment with bringing in what you desire, or you do have a firm foundation where you're fulfilled. So I don't know if for some of you, you know what choice to make, what you have to leave behind in order to continue to align with this. Ooh, I'm sorry. Fulfillment energy, okay? Okay, I know this isn't satisfying me anymore. This is not on my path, so I am going to make another choice and follow my heart, follow my calling. Or, you know, for some of us, we might not really be experiencing or focusing on this Nine of Cups energy because of the anxiety and the thoughts that are taking our mind hostage. Now, what's interesting about this is in the hopes and fears position, we have the Devil. So this is great because this is showing what this is about is this is just all fear. So this isn't, you know, we don't have a reason necessarily. Like, it's like these thoughts aren't picking up on some kind of, oh no, doom, I'm picking up on something true, I'm getting a real message, and now I'm worried, will this happen? No, you know, it is just our fear playing tricks on us. It is the fear holding those thoughts hostage and influencing. So the fact that the Devil card is in the fear position in the reading, it's showing this is just a fear. So when this happens, though, you know, this is a powerful energy where we get triggered and where we are confronted with a huge fear that is so deeply woven into our subconscious, our consciousness, our being, that it can be very real for us, and it feels like we have to find our way out of this. Ultimately, this energy is all about teaching us that we have the power to release ourselves from any fear, that nothing is controlling us. No fear does have the power over us unless we believe it does and decide it does, and therefore creating that reality for ourselves. So this is a good lesson in empowering ourselves to really be in control of our lives and not allow fear to cage us and prevent us from being free, from living up to our potential, from, you know, being ourselves and getting out there and following what we believe we should be doing, you know. So that's interesting. So that's okay. Now, moving into the near future, we're being called by the Hangman to accept, to surrender, to trust. Okay, so let's put, so when this comes into the near future, okay, this is the Hangman card. This is when we really, there's no real role for us to play except relaxing, surrendering, accepting what's going on. This is when there's other parts of the puzzle that need to come into place. There's other images and that need to come into focus before we can see the whole picture. So it's like, it's not our time to really control this. There's other things involved that need to come together on their own time, which is the perfect time for them to come together. And we just have to trust and wait. Now, this can trigger things as well in us. Especially Aries, we are not good at waiting. We want everything now. We want everything yesterday. We do not like to wait. It's like our energy is just too, it's hard for us to just be quiet and like trust and sit. We just want to do everything and go, go, go. So, you know, this can trigger us, oh, are things not happening? Are things not working out? Am I on the wrong track? But no, none of that's true. This is just, and this is also a lesson in patience, in trust, in surrender. That's a very important part of our makeup and our journey. So don't look at this as a conflict. Look at this as this is the fastest way to get where you're going, actually, is just, and remember, like the analogy is the more you, resist, the tighter those binds get, the more that anxiety grows. So when we just release and go with the flow, it's a much more pleasant experience. And then we realize we get it. We see what this situation was meant to teach us, which is ultimately all about just becoming more at peace, more in the flow, getting out of our ego and connecting with the whole. So, Okay, so with that said, we're coming back to the Chariot card. This is representing us in April. So this is our energy, you know, how we see ourselves or what we're putting out there, what we're aligning with, that's in our control. This can also be tie into the near future as well. These are very opposite cards. It's funny, right? So the Chariot's saying, we are going through this breakthrough right now. We are in alignment with, you know, all the sides of ourselves, our power. We're plugged into that. And it's like finding that magic equation where, okay, you're ready, you may pass, and everything is just flying. This is a lot about movement. So this could be moving forward in a phase of your life. This could be a success related to career, related to relationship. This could be a move, like you're moving house, you're moving country. You know, whatever that means. This is travel, movement, whether it's literal or metaphoric, inner movement. So we're making progress. We're getting things, we're moving forward. But things may appear to us in the near future like they're not moving forward, like we're stuck. But that's all part of how this works, because there's a lot more involved than just us and just our mind and just our perspective. So we have to play with the team. We have to allow those parts of things to unfold and line up. But we are moving forward, and there is a big triumph success here. Now, I don't know if for some of you this is about a relationship. Maybe you're having a little bit of tension or obstruction or a little doubt or uncertainty, a little anxiety about. And, you know, remember, it's like, it's all good. This is the foundation. This is what's driving the situation. This is what is. So this may for you mean, I really want to be happy. I really want to be fulfilled. And I know that whatever situation I'm in right now, really not fulfilled. So I want to kind of take my hands off, surrender, let things kind of, and I'm being true to myself. So, you know, I'm moving forward and released from what was holding me back. Okay, that's just one example though. But so as we move into this outcome, we've got the Two of Cups here, which is showing, you know, relationship. Often this is romantic, reciprocated connection. So this is often two people in an intimate relationship. This can also be, you know, a friendship, a partnership, even a very significant connection with something. But, you know, generally this is romantic. Okay, so we've got that in our outcome. We've got the Five of Cups in our outcome. So this is implying there could be some kind of disappointment in terms of emotions, or looking at what expectation was not fulfilled, or looking at focusing on what isn't working as far as you're concerned, rather than what is working. So the Five of Cups is like, you know, we can always be true to ourselves, be true to our feelings. I'm feeling disappointed about something. I'm not totally thrilled about something, but remember, it is in our power to remind ourselves and not get too immersed in what hasn't worked. And this could be, like I said, like, it's not like, oh my God, your whole relationship hasn't worked. It might have been like, oh, I thought I had an expectation of this for my relationship, and I'm kind of feeling right now at this time that that's really not met. It can be very subtle. It can be very, okay, but we have to remind ourselves that as much as we focus on what is working, okay, that's going to be our reality. We don't want to live in denial and be deluded and not look at what we are upset about, but we don't want to let that be guiding our whole emotional life and guiding our whole thought process and belief system. We have to remind ourselves, you know, we can be sad about this and process through those emotions, but that's not going to do any good ultimately. What do you want? Okay, so then look at that and continue to build and expand that energy of what you do have, what you are fulfilled and satisfied by, what is working. So I think for this month, it is a lot about, it's in our control to watch what thoughts we're having, watch what we're really believing in, watch what, you know, what do we want? Where do we want to go? What's in our control? What's out of our control? I feel like a lot of, if there is any resistance or anxiety or like feeling disappointed about something, it's more about how we're looking at that rather than what's actually going on. It's more of how we're interpreting that and taking that in and creating a belief out of it than, you know. So I hope that makes sense. Now in the outcome, we also have the Hermit card. So this is showing there's some kind of, you know, need for exploration, need for self-reflection. There's something we want to understand. There's something that we need to uncover. And the way to do that is by going within and contemplating and asking and listening and receiving those answers. So there's something that we can't get from anyone else. It has to be in our own heart, in our own soul, our own journey, our own reflection. So yeah, it's almost like making me feel like, you know, oh, I didn't expect things to be this way right now. Oh, okay, there's some kind of conflict that I have to find my way out of. My mind isn't helping. I'm kind of facing fear. I'm kind of starting to panic, and I'm worried about what could go wrong. Or so there's this need for this deep soul searching to figure out where's that all coming from and get aligned with the truth, with what actually we don't need to bring into the situation. We can observe it, but we don't need to be emotionally gripped by it and, you know, held prisoner by it. So there's some stuff to figure out, and that's the way over whatever unpleasant or uncomfortable, you know, feelings you're having or reality you're experiencing right now. It is in your power. It's not something that I feel like is fated and you're, oh, this is just my time to be disappointed. No, it's more just how we're interpreting things. And we can get to the bottom of that because actually things are moving forward. Things are being watched over and guided and smoothed out. Everything is connecting, but for whatever reason, we're in a place right now of maybe doubting and questioning, but that's good because we're going to get over fear. This is an opportunity to get over that fear, to free ourselves from another level of fear and expand our knowledge and understand more about how to be free and live our life in alignment with how we want to be and who we want to be and where we want to go. This is an opportunity for that while everything else is blending and connecting behind, like that we're unaware of. Okay. Now the last card in the outcome is the Star. So, you know, this is that promise of, okay, there's a reason behind all this. You know, there's a vision you have for the future. There's hope here. There's belief. There's support from the universe. Like, things are going to work out. It's okay. You're being guided. And then the Temperance card is on the bottom. So that same energy of, you know, harmony, patience, everything's being measured in the right, you know, everything is being, this is also about energy transmuting. So healing energy, turning in energy around. I'm finding it really hard to talk. I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde, but bleh, I'm like a slow talker today. So anyway, so oh, also I just want to, I feel like this is going to apply to some of you. The Queen of Swords is in the environmental position, or the position of other people's influence. So you might have even had, like, because this kind of energy is like not sentimental, does not mince words, does not care about people's feelings, not in like a bad way, but just it's all about the truth, the logic, the words. This is my decision. You know, I don't mind saying it. And so there could be somebody that has come to you with information that is prompting this conflict. There could be somebody involved. Maybe, you know, you do have a partner that just said, I don't know if I'm in love with you anymore. And you're like, what? And it's prompting all this and this fear. But it's about going through this journey and trusting and knowing everything really is working out how it should be. And this is actually launching you forward. That's just one interpretation. So some kind of, if this applies to you, the environment, some kind of information, some kind of strong, clear communication or information that has been brought to the situation or is understood in the situation. Look at her hat. Look at all those prickles. It might not feel good to hear. Look at all the thorns. This has a kind of a little bit of a harsh skew. Look at the clouds here. But also the Queen of Swords is truthful. She knows what she thinks. She knows what she believes. She knows exactly what she's saying and exactly how it's going to be taken, you know? So maybe this truth has come in, whatever that means for you, and is prompting this kind of doubt or journey where you're having to navigate your fears and you're having to navigate your potential disappointments. But remember, it is ultimately under the surface you know, you're where you should be, you're where you want to be, or you're in the position where this needs to happen to get where you want to be. Lot of complicated energy here. A lot of different layers, a lot of ways it can be interpreted. So just know that this is not, that you're safe. Everything is fine. You're not being derailed. You're not being delayed. Everything really is moving forward and is happening as it should, is being protected. This is just more about us sorting through our thoughts and our feelings and figuring out where do we go, what are we choosing to believe, what is in our power, and standing up to that illusion, whatever that illusion represents for us, standing up to that and going, do I really believe that? Do I want that? And overcoming that. gaining wisdom. And this doesn't have to mean, let's go with the relationship example. This does not have to mean, oh, my relationship's in trouble. Oh no, the Five of Cups is in the outcome. Oh no, the Hermit. For some of us, it might mean, yeah, we realize this relationship isn't really going to continue as it has. It might take on a new chapter, a new, or it could just be, okay, there's some things that are going on, you know, in this relationship now that isn't perfect. Oh my gosh, imagine that. And I just have to kind of reorient myself, get my thoughts straight, figure out what I believe about that in order to move forward, gain some wisdom about that, because not every, we're always going to be emotionally disappointed. No one's ever going to fulfill all our emotional needs. You know, circumstances are never going to be just right. There's always going to be a little bit of conflict. And so, you know, you have to see really, how is this hitting you and what is the message for you? And a lot of this is going to be a journey in uncovering that with the Hermit. It's going to be gaining new insights, asking new questions, you know, exploring uncharted territory. But it's not a bad thing. It's, you know, it is saying, but, you know, don't worry, because, you know, this is all where, this is good. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to go. You know, and you are where you should be and moving forward on your journey. So I hope that I articulated that well. I feel like I'm talking underwater. Like, it's the weirdest thing. But that's what came through. I'm going to pull one Archangel Michael card just to kind of get some validation on the guidance here. What do we do with this information? That flew. What's this? Prayer will help. Let's not forget to pray, because again, you know, when we ask, we actually receive. Like when we open, we can't embody something unless we're open to it, you know, if we're blocking it. So just a reminder that contemplation, meditation, prayer, asking for answers, you will get an answer. If you believe you're going to get an answer and you stay open to getting that answer, you're going to get an answer. So a reminder, prayer, you know, and prayer, positive thinking, it's all the same thing. Because whether you think you're praying to God or not, you still are. Whether, and it's the same mechanism. All right, so this, yep, exactly. You've created the situation and you have the power to change it. So this is showing, again, a lot of what we're experiencing is based on our own thoughts, is based on our own expectations, is based on our own fears. We need to we need to remind ourselves that this is our life, this is our creation, and kind of reorient and get back on track, or find the comfort in, you know, letting go, not panicking, getting some clarity. And just what I was saying about this is more under our control. And this is saying you've created the situation, you have the power to change it. So please don't feel trapped. I know you might, some of you might, don't feel like this is happening to you. You know, you are in control of your own thoughts, of your own belief, of the way your life goes. So remember that, and know everything is fine. Everything will be fine. This is just kind of, again, an opportunity to realign ourselves with the truth of what we want, who we are, what's going on. Sort out our thoughts, sort out our doubts, and see, you know, where do I go from here? What really is going on? What really is my guidance here? And it's much scarier than it could seem much scarier and threatening than it really needs to be or is. Whew. Man, this one was intense. So I hope that helped. Those of you this was meant for, you know, if anyone is struggling with those kind of, with really like being in the fear and cannot see your way through it, please just share, leave your comments. We'll all kind of share experiences and help each other. Yeah, I would love to hear how this resonates with you guys. So let me know, and I'll see you guys next month. Oh, and if anyone would like a private reading with me, just email me, Tara@tarastarot.com. Thanks.